I've had a lot of team previews here where they're talking about like, hey, we've got a whole new offensive line in the portal, and isn't that great? And we've all seen the stuff about Texas Tech spending money like it's going out of style, completely rebuilding their roster entirely by money whipping guys in the portal, whereas TCU is trying to lean into as old school as you can be in this NIL era, where it's like, okay, pay the guys you have so you can keep that development cycle going, and then they get to be juniors and seniors, and maybe you can actually do something. So my question to y'all is, which is the right way to do it? Who do you think between Tech and TCU is going to prove that they are doing this the correct way? Should you be building more from the portal, or should you be keeping guys around? What do you think?
Billy, you want to take it first?
Yeah, I'll take it first. I think the portal giveth and it taketh away, right? You can hit it on 1 year, you can totally miss another. Perfect example, my wife went to Florida State. They crushed the portal the 1 year, went undefeated, and the next year got stuck with a used car in DJU and went 2-10, right? So the portal, it's totally a crapshoot. These guys are they expecting to do well. But if you look at teams like Georgia and Alabama, they're built around their high school guys, and they're bringing in 2 or 3 pieces, little finishing things off the top of it to put them over the edge. But in reality, I think 90% of their rosters nowadays are just built from high school. They're just retaining that talent and getting that depth that you need nowadays with football.
I think the biggest thing for TCU and Sonny, and just talking so many times with him about this, is roster retention. He's going to take care of his roster first. He's going to take care of his guys first. And it's like that because we always get the gripes. TCU needs to back up the Brinks truck for some 5-star recruit or 4-star recruit. And I keep telling them till I'm blue in the face and I'm going to explode one day because I say it so much. That's not their style. They're not going to go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for an unproven player that hasn't played a snap of college football. Whereas TCU's model's kind of been, we can go after the big guys that are transferring from the SEC schools and, take a chance on some of those guys, but we're also going to go after the guys that have just simply played a lot of college football, whether that's at a G5 level. Like last year, you had a couple really nice transfer additions that made some plays for TCU that came from Lamarian James. I mean, he came from Old Dominion. I mean, who expected him to have the same the kind of year he had last year? But that's the kind of players they're going to attract. But I agree with Billy 1,000%. You develop those high school kids and you try to keep those guys in your program as long as you can and pay them the way you need to pay them. I mean, they're not going to pay an over exuberant amount. They're going to pay what the market calls for. But what I think is really important to make fans understand this is if you look at TCU's roster, there wasn't a whole lot of guys leaving. I mean, they did not have a lot of kids entering the portal. And I think that is huge. I think the spring transfer window, they only had 3 players hit the portal. And in this day and age of college football, sometimes they leave at their own accord. Sometimes you have these exit meetings and you talk to these players, and maybe it is best to go down the road to a school where you can get some playing time because maybe you are 4th or 5th on the depth chart here. So
and sometimes they're tampering with your starters. That happens too.
Right, exactly. We all saw that a few weeks ago. So I think they're doing it the right way. I think the fact of the matter is they want to develop those guys, especially in the offensive line, because the offensive line, I'll tell you right now, and we can get into this and have a completely different show, the offensive tackles are the most overpaid transfer players in the portal. Those guys get so much more than, there you go, your lineman hat. Those guys are getting way more than what market value normally calls for. So I think the fact that they have some guys that they've developed, guys like Ryan Hughes we'll talk about later, but they're using that model to try to keep guys around, try to develop that high school talent, build the recruiting classes, and move forward and try to keep guys here and taking care of them. And I think it speaks volumes that you had such a minimal amount of kids. That tells me there are 2 things, actually. The coaches are treating those kids right. And number 2, the kids just love being at TCU. They don't want to leave. So that's their motto. Don't make kids want to leave. And they're doing a great job at doing that.